Have you been feeling a strange stirring inside of you lately? A sense that something is shifting, not outside, but deep within. You're not imagining it. You didn't stumble across this video by accident. You're here because this moment was written into your timeline. July 11th, 2025 is not just another date. For you, the chosen one, it's a divine checkpoint, a spiritual activation. Your energy, your mind, your body, they've been getting prepared for something you couldn't fully name until now. That's why your emotions have been intense. That's why your thoughts have been louder than usual. That's why your desires have been pulling at you in strange directions. This is your call to higher clarity. And you feel it, don't you? Chosen one, your sexual energy has not been your enemy, but it has been misunderstood. You've been taught to suppress it, to be ashamed of it, or worse, to waste it on things and people who could never contain the magnitude of what's truly sacred in you. But your sexual energy is divine. It is pure spiritual currency. It's the flame of transformation, the engine of awakening. It's not random that you've been wrestling with this energy. It's not by chance that you've been feeling torn between your past impulses and your present calling. This message right here is your mirror. It's going to show you what you've been feeling but couldn't name. Now, I'll ask you something serious. You have a choice right now. You can click away, go back to the noise, the scrolling, the distraction, and lose the clarity your soul's been crying for. Or you can stay until the end. Stay and receive the words that were meant to confirm what your spirit already knows. And if you do, you'll walk away lighter, stronger, remembering. There is a reason your spirit has been calling out for more discipline, more silence, more separation from certain people and desires. Your spiritual awakening is not just a phase, it is your return to power. And that power demands self-control. That power demands you look at what you've been giving your energy to and ask yourself, is this feeding my soul or draining it? You've been chosen not to escape this world, but to transform it. And transformation starts within, through the mastery of your life force, your focus, and yes, your sexual energy. You're not weak for having urges. You're not failing because you've made mistakes. You are awakening, and awakening is messy. It's confusing, but it is always sacred. This isn't a motivational speech, this is spiritual alignment. This is the kind of truth that rearranges your nervous system. So if you've been searching for confirmation, here it is. Comment 111 if your spirit knows this word is for you. Comment 777 if something in you already feels the shift happening. And if you know another chosen one who's been wrestling with this fire inside, send this to them now. Subscribe to Rise of the Chosen and tap the bell so you don't miss the next part of your journey. There's a reason this message reached you today. The universe, the divine, your higher self, they have conspired to bring you to this moment. You've carried the weight long enough. You've battled in silence long enough. You've questioned your path, your identity, your value. But now it's time to stop surviving and start rising. Let's begin. Sexual energy is not just physical desire. For the chosen one, it is spiritual fire. It is the divine spark encoded into your being that pushes you toward creation, evolution, and awakening. But the world doesn't teach you that. The world turns that sacred power into a product. It turns your desire into distraction. It teaches you to waste the fire instead of wield it. That's why so many chosen ones grow up confused about their urges, ashamed of their desires, or addicted to temporary pleasure. But here's the truth. Your sexual energy was never meant to be suppressed or shamed. It was meant to be understood. It was meant to be mastered. Every time you felt overwhelmed by lust or longing, it wasn't just about the body. It was a message from your soul that energy was rising, that something within you was activating. You're not just a body with urges. You are a vessel for divine intelligence, and your sexual energy is the bridge between the human and the divine. When you release it without intention, you drain your power. But when you learn to contain it, transform it, you become unstoppable. This is why so many chosen ones go through seasons of deep temptation before their breakthrough. It's not punishment, it's preparation. The fire has to be purified before it can be directed. Many of you have been asking, why do I keep attracting the wrong people? Or why do I feel this intense craving when I'm trying to focus on my purpose? That's because your energy is valuable. It's radiant. And anything that's not aligned with your higher path is drawn to it. But it cannot hold it. You've been feeling the pull between soul and flesh because you're being invited to rise above the lower nature. This is not about celibacy. It's about consciousness. It's about knowing what you carry and honoring it. Sexual energy isn't evil. It's the raw material of miracles, but only when it's handled with reverence. As a chosen one, your energy is different. You were never meant to give it away casually. You were never meant to be drained and depleted by soul ties that were never meant to touch your frequency. Every time you gave yourself away out of loneliness, confusion, or habit, you didn't lose your worth, but you lost a little more clarity. And now you're being called to reclaim it, to bring your energy back to yourself, to stop wasting your gold in places that only wanted your shine, but not your soul. You've been waking up. And with that awakening comes a responsibility to treat your energy as sacred. You're no longer blind to the cycles that keep you stuck. You're no longer numb to the subtle spiritual cost of pouring yourself out with no purpose. You've been chosen. And that means your body, your mind, your spirit, they're not ordinary, they are portals. And what you do with your energy echoes beyond your lifetime. This is the beginning of your divine transformation, not through denial, but through awareness. Not through guilt, but through growth. Your urges don't define you. What you do with them does. And if you can learn to turn that energy upward, to channel it into your voice, your work, your calling, you will become a force the world cannot ignore. The sacred fire inside you was never meant to be extinguished. It was meant to be refined. Take a moment. Reflect on how you've been treating your energy. Reflect on who you've given it to and why. Reflect on how much of your brilliance you've buried under shame or secrecy. And then remember, none of that defines your destiny. What defines you now is what you choose to do next. The fire is still in you. And now, it's time to rise with it. Chosen one, there's a reason you've been called to discipline lately. A reason your spirit is restless around old habits and fleeting pleasures. It's because your soul knows what's coming. Your next level cannot be unlocked through talent, knowledge, or charisma alone. It requires self-control. Real, sacred, spiritual self-control. This isn't about perfection, it's about power. The kind of power that comes when your energy is no longer scattered but fully contained, fully directed, and fully aligned with your divine mission. Self-control isn't just resistance, it's remembrance. When you begin to walk in spiritual authority, you no longer live by reaction. You live by revelation. You no longer let every urge dictate your day. You become the master of your energy, not its slave. And that's when the shift happens. That's when clarity flows. That's when divine timing starts opening doors you used to chase. But none of that happens without inner mastery. And inner mastery begins with choosing control when chaos tempts you to collapse. The reason many chosen ones suffer isn't because they're weak, it's because they're powerful without direction. Their energy is deep, intense, magnetic, but it's undisciplined. And undisciplined power can destroy the vessel that carries it. That's why you felt attacked in the area of your appetite. That's why lust, distraction, and emotional loops hit you harder than others. It's because your power is real, and anything real will be tested. Every time you resist the urge to numb, escape, or indulge without purpose, you are not losing. You are storing power. You are upgrading your inner command. You are building a spiritual shield that nothing low vibrational can penetrate. Most people think self-control is restriction, but for you, it is your liberation. When you master your energy, you free yourself from the grip of what once ruled you, and that freedom is your access point to divine clarity. Don't be fooled. Temptation is not just about pleasure, it's about pattern. The enemy doesn't always come to take your joy. Sometimes it comes to loop your mind, to exhaust your spirit, to keep you distracted just long enough to miss your moment. But you're here now, and that means your moment hasn't passed. It's arriving, and it's asking for a cleaner vessel, a clearer soul, a steadier heart. That's the reason for the tension you feel. You're not under attack, you're under refinement. Look back at the times you gave in, not to shame yourself, but to understand what's been costing you. Was it the instant relief that later brought regret? Was it the temporary escape that delayed your expansion? Was it the silence of your intuition when you chose what didn't serve you? All of that was part of your awakening, because now you see it. Now you feel the difference between distraction and destiny. And now you are being asked to choose wisely. Self-control is spiritual wealth. It's what makes your gifts sustainable. It's what keeps your spirit sensitive. It's what turns your energy into a weapon of truth. Every act of restraint adds to your crown. Every moment you choose alignment over impulse, you add weight to your authority. You don't need to control everything around you. You just need to control what moves within you. Because once you do that, nothing external can break what's been built in the spirit. So the next time desire rises, ask yourself, where is this taking me? Is this feeding my higher self, or is it seducing my lower nature? You'll feel the answer. Your soul always knows. And if you can pause long enough to listen, you'll find that what you really crave isn't escape, it's evolution. And self-control is how you claim it. This is the key. Hold it tightly. Chosen one, you've been sensing it, haven't you? Something feels off and aligned at the same time. You've been caught between heaviness and hope, exhaustion and insight, confusion and clarity. That's not just life happening. That's a spiritual awakening. You are in the middle of a divine cycle that's calling you higher, and it's no coincidence it's intensifying now. July 11th, 2025 marks a cosmic shift. Many are asleep, but you are not. You are being activated. The signs have been there, but maybe you didn't know what to call them. You've been waking up at odd hours, especially between 3 and 5 a.m. Your dreams have become vivid, sometimes emotional, sometimes prophetic. You feel disconnected from what used to entertain you. Loud spaces drain you. Small talk exhausts you. Your body feels like it's processing something invisible. Some days you feel strong and clear. Other days you can barely move. That's not just fatigue. It's energy realignment. You're suddenly aware of your thoughts like never before. You notice patterns. You see through people. You sense motives without them saying a word. Your discernment is growing because your spirit is awakening. That's why certain friends no longer feel close. That's why relationships that once felt important now feel heavy. You're not becoming cold. You're becoming clear. Awakening pulls you out of illusion. It forces you to see what's real, even if it hurts. Some of you have been crying for no clear reason, not sadness, but soul release. Old wounds are surfacing, not to torment you, but to finally leave. Your heart is being softened and strengthened at the same time. You are learning how to feel deeply without drowning. You're learning how to be sensitive without being consumed. That is spiritual maturity. That is what the awakening is doing within you. Your appetite has changed. Your cravings are shifting. You may have gone through days of fasting unintentionally, not because you're trying to, but because your spirit is prioritizing energy over pleasure. You're being emptied so you can be filled with something higher. That's what July 11th signifies, a stripping down of the unnecessary, so your original code can rise. And if this sounds like what you've been going through, then you're not alone. You're aligned. You've been searching for answers, and nothing outside of you satisfies anymore. That's because the answers are inside you now. You're becoming your own confirmation. You're no longer hungry for shallow validation. You want depth. You want truth. You want peace that doesn't need noise. That is the mark of spiritual activation. That is the evidence that you are awakening. Comment 999 if this has been your experience. Comment 444 if you've been feeling the signs but weren't sure what to call them. Chosen one. Don't fight what's leaving. Don't chase what's fading. When your soul starts pulling back, it's not punishment, it's protection. The people walking away may not understand your transformation. That's okay. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken, to rise, to activate. And this cycle you're in, it's just the beginning of your remembering. Trust it, feel it, honor it. Because from this point forward, your spirit will no longer tolerate anything that insults your destiny. Chosen one, you've probably asked yourself lately, why does everything feel so intense right now? The temptations, the emotional waves, the distractions pulling you back into old habits, they've all become louder, heavier. And yet, so has your awareness. You're not imagining this. You are in a spiritual upgrade, and the pressure you feel is proof. What you're carrying is sacred. And before elevation, there is always confrontation. The tension in your spirit isn't a breakdown. It's a divine breaking open. Temptation isn't always about lust. Sometimes it's about comfort, about returning to what's familiar, even when it doesn't serve you. You've probably noticed old desires resurfacing, old connections trying to pull you back in, old emotions showing up when you thought you were past them. That's not regression. That's exposure. The awakening light inside you is revealing what's still hiding in the corners of your soul. And it hurts because it's real. It's uncomfortable because it's sacred. Your sexual energy is part of this storm. It's rising not to ruin you, but to redirect you. That urge you feel isn't random. It's your life force searching for a higher purpose. When you misunderstand it, you waste it. But when you understand it, you harness it. And right now, the spiritual heaviness you feel is a sign that your energy is being stirred. This is where the test begins. Will you fall back into old patterns or rise into divine power? The enemy doesn't attack what's weak. It attacks what's awakening. You've been marked since birth, but your awareness is what makes you dangerous. That's why temptation is pressing on your weak spots. It's trying to make you forget who you've become. But look how far you've come. Look at how much you've shed. Look at how loud your discernment has become. This battle is not a loss, it's a passage. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You've likely felt disconnected from your usual spiritual practices. Maybe your prayer feels dry. Your meditation feels noisy. Your peace feels distant. That too is part of the process. The silence of God is not absence. It's presence disguised as stillness. When the divine goes quiet, it's because you're being stretched. and stretching hurts. But what's growing in you is stronger than anything you've lost. Stay with it. Stay in it. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. Chosen one, hear me. You are not crazy for feeling overwhelmed. You are not failing because you're struggling. You are standing in the heat of transformation. What used to satisfy you now leaves you empty because your spirit is evolving. The cravings are stronger because the call is louder. The temptation is deeper because the mission is greater. This is the weight of becoming. This is the sacred chaos before clarity. Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Sit with it. Observe it. Master it. And above all, remember that you are not alone. The struggle is real, but so is the strength inside you. You've been chosen to rise through this, not around it. And when you come out of this fire, you won't just be free, you'll be refined. Every time you resist what's pulling you backward, you are honoring the future that's calling you forward. Let that sink in. What you're facing is not random. It's necessary. It's preparation for the life your soul came here to live. And even when your flesh feels weak, your spirit is growing. Even when your thoughts feel heavy, your purpose is being carved. This season will not break you. It will build you. Hold your ground, chosen one. The weight is proof of your worth. The temptation is a sign of transition. Keep walking. You're almost through. Chosen one, your body is not just flesh and bone. It is a sacred vessel, wired for divine electricity, encoded with spiritual intelligence. Every cell holds memory. Every sensation holds message. And when spiritual awakening begins to rise, it does not bypass your body. It activates it. That's why you've been feeling everything more intensely. That's why your emotions sit heavier in your chest, why your thoughts echo louder in your head, why your urges feel like waves crashing against your self-control. Your body is not resisting transformation, it is participating in it. Your sexual energy is the most concentrated form of this divine life force. It's not dirty, it's not sinful, it is pure power. Power that was never meant to be wasted on pleasure without purpose. Power that was never meant to be suppressed out of fear or shame. It was meant to be understood, honored, and directed. When that energy builds up in you, it's because the spirit is trying to move through you. The tension you feel is sacred pressure. The pull between desire and destiny is not weakness. It's a sign that the divine within you is waking up. Transformation is not an idea, it is a process. And that process happens in your bones, in your breath, in your being. That's why your body has been feeling things that don't make sense to your mind. Your energy is shifting faster than your thoughts can keep up. You may feel exhausted after spiritual moments. You may feel waves of heat or tingling during prayer, fasting, or stillness. These are not symptoms of disorder. They are signals of realignment. You are being rebuilt from the inside out. When you withhold your sexual energy with intention, it doesn't disappear. It ascends. It turns inward, then upward. It fuels your creativity, your spiritual perception, your prophetic clarity. The same energy that once pulled you into lust can now elevate you into vision. The same fire that once burned you with guilt can now purify you with purpose. This is the mystery of divine transformation. It doesn't ask you to kill your desires. It asks you to awaken your awareness. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You need to be present. You need to start listening to your body as a sacred communicator. What does that pressure in your chest really mean? What is your body asking for when you feel the ache of longing? What is your spirit telling you when you feel fire rise in your belly, but your heart whispers, wait? These are not random sensations. They are invitations into mastery. The world taught you to escape your body. Spiritual truth calls you to return to it. Because the divine doesn't just want your thoughts, it wants your presence. It wants to dwell in you, move through you, live in your breath and walk in your steps. You are not meant to escape the flesh. You are meant to embody the spirit. That is the true awakening. That is the root of transformation. Chosen One, your body is becoming holy ground, not through denial, but through alignment. Every act of discipline is a declaration, I am ready to hold more light. Every time you breathe instead of react, observe instead of indulge, you are transmuting fire into fuel. You are becoming the version of yourself that your destiny requires. It's not a fantasy. It's happening right now, within your very skin. So move gently with yourself in this season. Listen more, push less. Let the divine rise within you, not just in your thoughts, but in your body. Your energy is not a mistake. It is a message, a map, a miracle. And if you honor it, it will take you places your mind alone could never reach. This is divine transformation, and it has already begun. Chosen One, you have to understand this clearly. Your energy is a threat, not just because it's bright, but because it's sacred. The enemy doesn't waste time attacking people who are irrelevant to divine purpose. The more spiritually awake you become, the more strategic the attack against your energy becomes. That's why it's not just obvious evil you're dealing with. It's subtle seduction. It's not always dark and demonic. Sometimes it looks like your type. Sometimes it sounds like your comfort. But underneath, it's an assignment sent to drain you, distract you, and delay your calling. The enemy studies patterns. It knows your triggers. It knows your wounds. It knows how to appear in your weak moments with just enough pleasure to make you forget the pain it leaves behind. That's why sexual temptation hits so hard in your quietest moments. That's why the old person shows up right when you've been fasting or healing. That's why you feel most alone right when you're making spiritual progress. Because the goal isn't just to make you fall, it's to keep you cycling, stuck, spinning, silent. The enemy fears a focused, chosen one, because when you align your sexual energy with divine purpose, you become unstoppable. You have to guard your eyes, your ears, your body, your spirit. Your energy is too valuable to leave unprotected. The attack doesn't always look like evil. It often looks like opportunity. But not every open door is a blessing. Some are traps, some are setups. Some are time distractions meant to show up right when your breakthrough is closest. That's why discernment is not optional for you. It is your shield, it is your compass, and it only stays sharp when you live with spiritual awareness. The enemy's strategy isn't just to tempt you, it's to confuse you, to have you doubting your worth, your path, your progress. That confusion creates emotional instability, and that instability makes it easier to control you. The goal is to drain your energy so your gifts become dormant, to distract you long enough that you miss your assignments, to keep you emotionally attached to what is spiritually killing you. But now you see it, and once you see it, you're no longer powerless against it. The people who show up and stir your desires but have no depth, the content that looks harmless but dulls your spirit, the situations that keep repeating with new faces, none of it is accidental. The enemy wants you exhausted, not evil, depleted, not dangerous, silent, not surrendered. Because if it can keep you busy chasing moments, you'll never build the mission. If it can keep your sexual energy tied up in fantasy and frustration, you'll never access the clarity that comes with true alignment. Chosen One, this is your wake-up call. Stop treating your sensitivity like a burden. It's your radar. Stop handing your sacred energy to people who were only sent to interrupt your momentum. You are carrying something divine. You are not like everyone else. That's not pride, it's responsibility. When you forget that, you lower your standard. You dull your light. You make deals with your destiny that you'll later have to undo. This isn't to scare you. It's to equip you. You're not powerless. You're not failing. You are learning. And now that you've seen the strategy, you can shift the outcome. Start asking yourself before every decision, Is this draining my energy or directing it? If it's draining you, it's not divine. If it's distracting you, it's not your destiny. Guard your fire, chosen one. Because when the enemy can no longer access your energy, it loses its grip on your future. Chosen one, you were not just born to survive life. You were born to shift it. You are not just here to heal from your past. You are here to remember your divine blueprint. You carry codes that this world didn't give you. And because of that, this world cannot take them away. Your awakening didn't start when you read a book or watched a video. It started the moment your spirit got tired of pretending to be normal. You've always been different. You've always sensed more, felt deeper, dreamed wider. And that wasn't delusion. That was your design. You are not just spiritually gifted. You are spiritually engineered. There are things within you that activate only through pressure, only through pain, only through separation. That's why your path has been so isolating. That's why certain people couldn't stay. That's why you were pulled out of spaces that once felt like home. It wasn't rejection, it was revelation. You were being shown what no longer matched your frequency. The loneliness wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Your higher mission needed room to breathe. There are ideas in you that didn't come from this earth. There are visions in you that are waiting for your full surrender. But you can't walk in divine purpose if you're still clinging to survival mode. You can't activate your assignment if you're still seeking validation from people who've never heard God speak your name. The reason they don't understand you is because they weren't called to carry what you carry. Stop waiting for confirmation from the crowd. You've already been confirmed by the Creator. Your divine blueprint is not just about spiritual gifts. It's about alignment. It's about becoming the version of you that your soul agreed to be before you got here. It's about remembering why you were given so much energy, why you've been through so much pain, why you feel pulled in a direction others can't even see. This isn't just about purpose. It's about spiritual assignment. You are the answer to a problem in the world, and that's why you've been under pressure. That's why the enemy tried to confuse your identity. Because once you remember who you are, everything around you shifts. Your sensitivity is not a weakness, it's a divine sensor. Your emotions are not burdens, they are spiritual messages. Your desire for solitude is not social dysfunction, it is sacred space. You've been hearing whispers in your soul that tell you to go deeper, be still, move differently. That's your divine blueprint guiding you back to center. Every time you obey that whisper, you come closer to divine clarity. Every time you ignore it, you delay the alignment. The awakening is not about becoming something new. It's about remembering what you've always been. That's why you resonate with truth you've never heard before. That's why you feel chills when someone speaks words that match your inner knowing. You are not learning. You are recalling. Your mission has been coded into your very spirit, and now it is unlocking. Your higher self is calling, and you cannot answer that call if you're still distracted by what no longer fits. This is the moment. This is the shift. No more playing small. No more shrinking to fit spaces you've outgrown. No more denying your gifts because they make others uncomfortable. You are not meant to be understood by everyone. You are meant to be followed by those your light was sent to awaken. Your divine blueprint is unfolding now. Trust it, honor it, walk in it. Because when you align with it, your steps become ordered, your energy becomes protected, and your voice becomes prophetic. Chosen one, this is your time. Not to explain yourself, but to express yourself. Not to wait for permission, but to move with conviction. Everything in your life has prepared you for this activation. Now step into it, fully, boldly, and without apology. Chosen one, when divine activation begins, your spirit becomes louder, but the world around you starts to feel quieter. That silence isn't emptiness, it's sacred space. After you receive revelation, you must protect it. After your blueprint begins to unfold, you must guard your soul like holy ground. This is not the time to rush back into noise, into people, into plans. This is the time to slow down and let what's been awakened in you take root. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is spiritual strategy. It's where clarity sharpens, where wisdom deepens, where the fire you've been carrying finally learns to burn with direction. That's why your desire to disconnect is growing. That's why you no longer feel like answering every message, entertaining every invitation, or explaining your transformation. You're not cold. You're becoming consecrated. You're being pulled inward so your new spiritual DNA can settle. Don't ignore that pull. Don't override it with guilt. What's being built in your spirit requires space. You cannot heal and be constantly available. You cannot activate your next level while staying accessible to everything that belongs to your last level. The sacred stillness is where your power matures. It's where you start to recognize what deserves your energy and what only drains it. The divine often speaks the loudest in silence. And in this season, your silence is your obedience. There will be people who notice your shift. They may ask what's wrong. They may accuse you of changing. Let them. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be aligned. When your soul begins to rise, anything not rooted in truth will start to fall away. And that falling can feel lonely. But it's not emptiness, it's elevation. The crowd thins at the mountaintop for a reason. Don't resist the isolation. Receive it as invitation. Some things are only revealed in the quiet. Some assignments are only unlocked in solitude. Some clarity only arrives when the distractions leave. That's why the stillness must be honored. It is not punishment. It is protection. The voice of the divine doesn't shout over chaos. It waits for the still one, the surrendered one, the one who is finally ready to listen with the whole body, not just the ears. So sit with yourself. Don't just consume more content. Digest the word you've already received. Let it stretch you. Let it read you. Let it reveal the next move, not out of impulse, but out of divine instruction. You don't need more answers. You need more alignment. And that begins with protecting what's been planted. The sacred stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about doing what matters most. It's about sitting in the frequency of your own soul long enough to hear your real voice, your divine self, your eternal wisdom. That's where power lives. That's where healing begins. That's where the chosen rise, not in the noise, but in the stillness between breaths. So honor it. Even if no one understands it, your spirit does. And that's enough. Chosen one, you've heard the message now. Not just with your ears, but with your spirit. You've felt the fire rising in you. You've recognized the truth in every word. This wasn't just information, it was confirmation. You are not who you used to be. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are rising, and this is your moment of divine remembering. July 11th, 2025 was not chosen at random. This was the checkpoint in your soul's journey. The day when everything you've carried in silence finally made sense. The day your sacred power became undeniable. You've learned today that your sexual energy is not your downfall. It's your divine power. That self-control isn't punishment. It's proof of your spiritual authority. That temptation doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're close. That your body is not broken. It's transforming. And that your desire to be alone isn't dysfunction. It's divine protection. You now understand that the pressure you've been under wasn't meant to crush you. It was meant to crown you. Every piece of you has been part of the plan. Every wound has become a window. Every craving has become a compass. Every failure has become fuel. You are walking proof that destiny cannot be denied when a soul remembers its assignment. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are perfectly positioned for the shift that is already unfolding within you. You don't have to strive to prove anything. You simply have to stay aligned. Stay aware. Stay available to your higher self. If anything in this message stirred your soul, if it confirmed what your heart has been whispering in the silence, I invite you again to comment below. Let us know if you feel the shift. Type 777 if you're reclaiming your power. Type 111 if you're ready to fully walk in your divine blueprint. And if this message brought light to your spirit, share it with someone else who needs the same fire. This journey isn't over. It's only beginning. And I'll be here for the next step. Make sure you subscribe to Rise of the Chosen, tap the bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next, and share this video with another chosen one who's ready to awaken. We are building a community of those who remember, a soul tribe of those who carry sacred fire. Chosen One, walk with your head high now. You've survived the storm. You've outgrown the lie. You've made it through the valley of forgetting. Now you rise. Now you speak. Now you build what only your spirit can see. You were not called to fit in. You were called to stand out. So go. Walk like the flame. Speak like the thunder. Love like the river. You are chosen, and the world is waiting on your light.